Hey guys, it's Vanessa with Farm Girl Gardens and Market. I'm doing a little bit of a front porch spiffy and I wanted to take you along with me. I get a lot of questions for how to swap out planters, people noticing that I really like to pack my planters when I'm doing them. And the reason for that is that I actually treat my planters as decor. I do pack them pretty closely. I swap plants out seasonally, so things that I'm putting in the ground knowing that they won't be able to overwinter, I do store in my greenhouse and then they're ready to go in the spring. So if you don't have that capacity and if you're using a lot of just seasonal things, one of the ways that you can do that and not spend a lot of money is still getting the impact using those large containers, but not actually filling those entire containers full. And the reason for that is a couple of things. For one, dirt isn't cheap, so if you're filling those huge containers all the way full, you're putting a lot of money into something that isn't getting seen and providing an aesthetic value. And a second thing is, if you're like me, petite little thing, once you fill those containers up, they're really hard to move. And so if you do one of these methods that I'm going to show you, where you're filling the container with some other type of substrate, in addition to getting better drainage, your plants don't need that depth of soil. You'll save the money on that material and it'll be easier for you to move your planter in and out, especially if you're in Texas, as weather can just get crazy in a moment's notice. So in this container, I just wanted to bring you in and show you how big it is. I'm actually going to plant this with some purple fountain grass. Purple fountain grass in Texas does naturalize, but this one I'm actually going to pot into the container and then just move the container in so that I can reuse this plant in the ground later on when I know exactly where I want it. I don't want to put it in the ground right now because we're moving some things around. So I'm not going to use the full depth of this container. Purple fountain grass is going to go in here, and then so is some potato vine and maybe some petunias. Neither one of those things need a lot of depth, so what I do is I like to save all of my spent plastic plant containers. Not only is it good practice to save these so you can propagate your own plants, keep them out of the landfill, you can even sell some of your propagated plants to earn back some money for your homestead, but I use them for a ton of reasons. One of them is to create a base. So as you can see, I'm just kind of throwing in the bits of plastic, shoving them in until they fit, and making a little base layer. And so I really like these trays. Hopefully you can see this well. These trays do a great job. Now what this is going to do is it's just taking up some volume, but this isn't a good medium to put your soil directly on because it'll just flatten back out. So what I like to do is then use some of my cardboard, another great way to keep these things out of the landfill, and just continue to build a cardboard base. What the cardboard base is going to allow you to do is to put your soil directly on top of it, and it'll hold that soil in where that plastic with all of those holes for filtration would have created too much drainage. Now that I've got a good base, I'm going to put my potting mix in before planting this guy up. Then I'll water him in well, and that is just one way that you can sustainably reuse some materials, save yourself on some soil costs, and get some really great seasonal interest for your fall door decor without spending a whole bunch of green. I hope that helps. Till next time.